Welcome everyone, this is Todd. Today I'm going to commentate a replay between Seed and Maru, which was played on Newkirk City in ladder. I did ask Seed for a couple replays if he had any interesting game to cast, to make a replay cast in English, not as much as a tutorial as usual. I have not seen the game yet, so I'm just gonna go through it with you guys and see exactly what happens here. According to Seed, this was a very interesting game and a long one, so I'm very curious to see exactly how it went and why for him it was such an interesting game. So we had Seed here open with the standard gates followed by an assimilator. Maru went for the gas first, which is a very common strategy. I played a whole bunch against Maru already on ladder, and he seems to open Reaper every single game into a factory play, either mines or Hellions. And then he likes to expand, at least take one expand, and he does a lot of all-ins or big pressures on two bases. Sometimes he even all-in on one base. So that's pretty much what I'm expecting out of him here. I think I played him around 4 or 5 times already in ladder, and that's what happened every single time. So he's already going to open with a Reaper here. In the meantime, Seed, he went for the second assimilator. He's gonna start getting a lot of gas, and he chose not to make a Zealot and not to scout as well. So this is a bit risky here if his expansion was to be blocked for some time. With an eBay, he would have to clean it with only a Stalker, but I guess since he took 2 gases and is mining very heavily from those extractors, this is most likely going to be either a Stargate or a Twilight play here. It could also be a Robo, but there is less of a chance. You don't need that much gas with a Robo. So behind this Reaper, Maru, he goes for the reactor on his barracks and the command center. He's gonna follow this up with a factory. It's a very good build, I feel, because then now he can make like 2 Marines or even 4 and then swap the factory out for the barracks. And Seed is just gonna throw down a Nexus after 3 pylons at 28 supply. He's been making probes continuously. He went for the Stalker first. He's getting a sentry behind this. He has enough gas to start a Mothership Core right now if he wants to. And that's a very safe build as well. I definitely think that 2 gas openers from Protoss is much stronger in Heart of the Swarm than in Wings of Liberty, just because you can then make your Mothership Core faster, you can get sentries just like you would usually. You're gonna need that 100 gas extra early on if you want to be able to make everything just like Wings of Liberty plus the Mothership Core. So Maru, he's going for the starport behind this. He's doing some work with his Reaper, always very sneaky. He's waiting for a while here and he's gonna try to get into the main. And Maru really understands that the speed of the Reaper is really strength here. So he's just gonna go into the main as quick as he can, try to scout everything he can, and then he tries to get out, but this time Seed was able to get the surround and get rid of that one Reaper. So not too much info taken by Maru really. He saw the forge, but he didn't even see a single gate here. And Seed, he hasn't gone either for a starport or a Robo or a Twilights just yet. It's a very strange opening because he had so much gas, but he's not using it to get a Mothership Core quickly. He seems to prioritize making probes right now. So he started armor upgrades. He's gonna throw down 2 extra gates. In the meantime, we have Maru going for the Medivac here. He already has 2 Hellion. He's getting 2 more, so this is gonna be a drop Hellion. We have no armory on the way, so no help at drops in this game. I guess since he went for the orbital command, or I guess the second command center, it would have been pretty hard to afford it and for it to come quickly. Usually it comes just a bit before 7 minutes where you can drop if you try to do it really fast. But now since he went for the orbital command, he probably anticipates that Seed will be ready for it. And look, he's even gonna get a Viking here. Since he wasn't able to scout anything, I think he's kinda expecting a Stargate play. So he's getting a Viking, he has his Marines in position to defend against any kind of Oracle play. And now he's gonna start dropping. Seed is barely gonna see it on time. And if this kills too many probes, this will be very, very bad for Seed. So he really has to get a lot of Stalkers as soon as possible here. Those Hellions making, oh, that was not very good by Seed. He's lost 8 probes so far, 11 now. And those Hellions are finally going to get out of here for now. 2 more Stalkers were made. This should not get any more. Yeah, it's not going to. So 11 kills for these 4 Hellions and Medivac. Definitely worth it, I feel. It's going to bring Maru up to 30 SSCVs to the 33 probes of his opponent. Behind this, Maru is adding on more barracks. His first barracks has a tech lab already, so he's getting steam pack. He's going to follow this up with combat shield, 2 reactors, 1 tech lab, and 1 more barracks. So since he's not thrown down a 3rd command center, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a big 2-base timing here out of him. And Maru is getting an engineering bay as well. It's always nice to get at least the 1 to get +1 and then 1/1, and then later on you can decide whether or not you want to keep on upgrading. And Seed, his strategy is a little bit strange. He went for the very quick +1 armor. Now he follows this up with +2. He hasn't started charge yet. He's prioritizing Storm. I'm not sure what he's expecting out of his opponent, but I guess since he's getting a robo, if you get stormed that fast, you can just spread out Templars, defend against everything, and if you play against Mech, you can just drop and try to get some good storms. But no, he's going to get dropped again by Maru. There is a couple Marines here ready to kill on some more probes. He's up to 13 probe kills, so he only got 2 with this 1 drop. And now he cannot really get out, maybe he feels, so he's just going to pick up and get out. So he's just going to leave with his medivac and let his Marines die. He's prevented some mining time. The income shows that we have 45 probes to 47 SCVs plus mules. So Maru is in very decent shape in this game. He's got a turret here to be safe. And we have Storm almost finished and +2 armor for the Protoss. Maru is going for the +1 attack. And concussive shells and combat shield is going to finish here. And it looks like Maru is already getting ready for a big timing here. And just as I say that, he's going to start a 3rd command center. Sorry, I'm going to put myself on busy. He's starting a 3rd command center, a 2nd eBay, and an armory. So I guess no 2-base here. A bit surprising out of Maru, especially since he had the advantage now. But maybe he read that he was facing Templars. He saw the Templar archive here and he knew that if he was too aggressive against his strategy, he could just get stormed his entire army and maybe not be able to make it through. So Seed so far not getting the mothership core. He didn't judge it useful to get it, and he's going to try to defend. He does not have any observer yet. He has to force field on time. That's exactly what he's going to do just after losing 1 stalker. Not very good storm, but it's okay as long as he leaves. And Maru is going to keep on upgrading here. He's got his Ghost Academy. He's not going to want to commit to any kind of big attack before he gets Ghosts. That's very important. The 1 Viking here patrolling, trying to find any kind of warp in play. And Maru having his 3rd, he's going to be in a great position here. Being out on the map like this with this strong of an army is really preventing Seed from taking a 3rd so far in this game. And Seed, he does not really care. He does not want to rush his 3rd. He just wants to make it through the late game, through the mid game, through the early game, through the mid game, and then make it into the late game, I guess. And we have another drop here in the main. This time with a couple more Marauders and Marines. And Maru actually not macroing very well here. He took very big damage from this, and a couple of units are going to be left behind. He does evacuate with 4 Marauders. Maru having this 3rd base this fast and being able to saturate it, I feel brings him in a very, very good position here. The only thing Seed has going for him is that he has Storm, but we have Ghosts on the way, and level 3 armor is on the way. So well, I guess Maru, if he can wait for 2-2, this is going to be totally okay for him. Oh, this War Prism here being caught out of position, almost dying. He's going to be dropping before losing it. Maru is just going to keep on making depots, never getting supply blocked here. He's added on a couple more barracks, and it's interesting because he seems to do pretty much half-half regarding reactors and tech lab. We have 3 reactors on his barracks and 4 tech labs, so it's very balanced here. He's able to get both Marauders and Marines. He does not seem to want to commit to either of those. I guess he wants to go Marine heavy, but he's already got a good number of Marauders. And now he can make a lot of Ghosts at once. Since he has 4 tech lab barracks, he can just get 4 Ghosts at once all the time, since he has a great economy as well. So he's made some turrets. This is a pretty good map for splitting the map, I guess, and defending on your side, just like Daybreak. And I'm surprised at the non-shifting of the SCVs. Maru is actually scanning all over the place right now. He really wants to engage. He has a couple Ghosts. He does not want to let Seed get Colossi very easily and complete his death ball. So he's going to want to engage before Seed has a third and his economy and tech kicks in. And we see Seed throwing down a second robotics bay as well as a robotics facility. Okay, you understood. And yeah, he's basically he wants to switch to double Colossi, and if Maru allows that to happen, it's going to be so tough for him to compete with this army because he's going to need a lot of Vikings. And before this Colossi come out, Maru can fight very easily with this Medighost against just a couple of Templars. As long as he scans and EMPs, does not get his entire army stormed, he should be fine in a direct fight. And right now, he has a supply lead, but maybe he does not realize it. When you watch as an observer, you see all the numbers, it's very clear to you, but when you're playing the game, it's usually very, very different. So Maru right now, he wants to push through. He wants to try to do some damage. He's going to bring his factory. He's going to move into position to try to do some big attacks. Seed trying to defend as best as he can, putting up some cannons everywhere. And he actually has all of his Templars grouped, I feel, in the same group. This is very risky, but oh my God, how many feedbacks was that? I'm going to come back a little bit here because that was huge. It should not have happened on Maru's side. When I look at it from Seed's view, he has a couple observers here. Wow, this one is so cool. Because this is going to be so hard. Yeah, you can't even spot it. So I'm going to slow motion this. And I think he got the 4 here. So this is almost a game-winning move, because like behind this you have the center army that's steamed and is able to storm it. And Maru, because of that, he maybe got a bit tilted and attacked here. So after that, now he realizes that he really has to pull back. He messed up big time here. He could have just waited for Cloak, kept on scanning, getting rid of the observers. But instead of that, he got 4 of his very important ghosts feedbacked, which will not happen at this level of play. And he finds himself in much trouble now. He's not able to attack. We have a lot of Colossi on the way for Seed. I think the first 2 are entering the field just now. And I'm pretty sure we're going to have a couple more following these 2. I wouldn't be surprised after this if Seed takes the force. I guess this one will be okay to take because it wouldn't be too hard to defend. Just put some pylons around. But he's actually going to go for the left one here. And nice dual Medivac drop here. Maru wanting to get rid of that potential force expansion because he has not seen it yet. He's just anticipating it. That's how good it is. Maru has to 2. He's getting +3 attack for his Bioforce. Nice depot wall here. And yeah, he's going to be able to get a cancel on this one Nexus here. The entire army of Seed moving back into position to try to defend against this Medivac boost. Okay, he has it on time. This one Viking. It's like the secret guardian. No War Prism can make it through this one. And well, we see Seed. He's going to keep on making Colossi. A lot of Protosses will feel very tempted to warp in a lot of units right now because they feel they're going to be attacked any second. But if you do that, then you're going to just supply cap yourself. And behind this, you're not going to be able to make enough units to defend. So it's definitely the right choice. And Maru is going to try to stay active with his Medivacs here. Seed is actually going to take the middle base here. I really feel like taking this one would have been a lot easier. You just put a couple of pylons, you do like 3 cannons here, 1 Templar also in position, and then you can take this one very easily. But he seems to be making his own life a bit harder than it has to be. And he's going to go for a couple Stargates behind this. 2 Stargates at least, and he's going to a couple gates as well. Maru is going to go for a Doom drop in the expansion. I don't think Seed has even made a Mothership Core so far in this game. Maybe he does not know this is Hardwood Swarm. I would have really liked to see a Mothership Core, because now you see he could have just recalled and then blinked and sniped, or even just Purify and then attack the Medivac. But instead of that, he's having a pretty tough time defending right now, even though he has a lot of gates. He has to warp units all the time. Maru was microing this very well, but now he finally lost the Medivac. I don't think he minds too much. He's just going to replace this by Ghosts and Vikings. He's getting a lot of Vikings right now. We have level 2 ship weapons on the way. And Seed, it kind of looks like he's had enough. He does not want to let the planetary fortresses get up in the middle of the map, which seemed to be what Maru wanted to go for. And Maru, nice scan here. He's going to go for the Colossi, chasing it with his Vikings right now. Nice storm by Seed, preemptive storm, stopping the Vikings from chasing the Colossi. Maru is going to move back into this position here. And this is very important. We should look at these 2 players grouping of their units, because this is very, very important in the late game. So Seed, he has everything on one, I think, and Templars on two, which I think is okay, but when you do that, remember that you should always only bring 3 to 5 Templars, because if you bring more than that and you get them all EMP'd, you pretty much lost. So I think 4 is the correct number. 3 would have been okay. 5 would be borderline too much, but still okay. Behind this, he's going to leave a lot of Templars everywhere without grouping them, so that they don't follow his army and they are already in position to defend against any kind of counterattack. They are charging on energy, but he's actually only left 1 behind. He's forgot some stalkers, so maybe some mistakes here out of Seed. Maru, I feel, as a Terran at this stage in the game, you really need to have 3 groups of units. So you need to have pretty much everything on 1 except Vikings and Ghosts. On 2, you can have either Vikings or Ghosts, and on 3, you need to have the other one. And that's going to allow him to really micro well in those big fights and take good engagements, have good positions when the fight starts. Some Terrans, they put everything on 1, and then they put Ghosts on 2, but I really feel like what Maru's doing right now, even though it's more difficult, if you can reach this level where you can do this well, is going to be very good for you. And we had a very strange engagement here with Maru basically scanning and trying to get rid of the Templars. Seed was able to get some storms, but you see, he's just pulling back his army perfectly here all the time. Look at this micro by Maru. This was ridiculous. He kept engaging, pulling back, so now finally he's going to step into a big storm, which was a mistake, but he's removed all the shields from Seed's army and there is no Templar left, so he's just going to chase it now. He sees the Templar, he's just going to pull back, and I think we should come back and take a look exactly at how Maru microed this with his point of view. I'm going to come back a little bit more, because this is way too good not to be watched again. By the way, guys, big thank you to Seed for giving me this replay. If you guys want to thank him or follow him, you can follow him on Twitter. He's at LGIMSeed, just like this. So go follow him. Let's look at the fight from Maru's point of view here. He's splitting his army pretty much manually here by selecting, and he always engages with his scan like this. He brings a couple ghosts manually into the fight. He's just gonna snipe and EMP as much as he can. Behind this, he steams and engages. This is actually his camera. And every time you see that you're about to run into a storm, pull back. Don't be like, screw it, I'm just going for it anyway. Just pull back. Now he pulls back again. Look at the sick EMPs. He gets the entire army, and now he realizes at this point he can just chase. He missed on the 1 Templar here, so this one was able to get 1 storm in before Maru could react, but there was just too much. The engagement was too good for Maru not to chase this, so he's just going to chase from there. And Seed has to pull back until this 1 Templar arrives, and Maru is the one who has to pull back. So they traded pretty well, both of them. Actually, this is dead even. We have 7,525 losses for the Terran, 7,400 for the Protoss player. Maru, he wants to go for the split map situation here. If he lost confidence, he knows that once he masses a lot of ghosts, he will be at advantage, so he's going to go for another command center in the middle. And he goes for a sensor tower as well. I guess there was a pause at this point in the game, but then both of the players came back and started playing again. Seed finally is going to start working on his +3. He's been on 1 forge this entire game. That's the big problem. I really wish he would have made a 2nd forge at some point. Maybe when he started the +3 armor, that would have been a very good time. And he's getting a fleet beacon, so I'm guessing he wants to get some Tempests, most likely. And in the meantime, Maru, he did not slow down with the macro. He added on a lot more barracks. He has all these initial barracks here in his main. He's added on at least those 3. And actually, that's it. I would have preferred if he had made a couple more, but this is still okay. He's going for a couple extra Ghost Academy. So 1 more over there and 2 more here. So he's going to have 4 Ghost Academy in total. He keeps on scanning. Maybe a couple more orbitals would have been cool here too. Because he's on 4 orbitals. So maybe making like 3 command center or 4 over here and then morphing them into orbitals to have infinite scan. And nice little squad here trying to go and pick up some units. He knows that the Protoss army is always going to be there. It's going to be very hard to split here because he has to remove units from his group. And Seed is actually not reacting. Okay, never mind. He has a secret guardian. Oh, okay. That's going to be good enough to clean this. And Maru is at the point in the game where he feels he has enough SCV. He's going to need to sack some of his SCVs to be able to make more army instead. So he's actually up to 54 SCVs. He should wait until he has the middle secured here. This center area is not secured, but if Seed was to attack in it, Maru would be just sitting there with his entire army spread out and get a great concave on whatever's here. He would just basically need to EMP all over the place here. So this is not as important. And also he has a PF here to receive whatever is being sent, just like the Zealots. So it's going to be fine for now. Okay, +2 is about to finish. We have 3 Tempests on the way, and level 1 air weapons for the Protoss player. He really wants to exploit the range of those Tempests to shoot the Terran army from afar, try to do some damage, force the Terran to engage into the Protoss, and then use some Great Storms. He knows that Maru he's going to have a lot of Vikings, but those Vikings, they need to take care of both the Colossi and the Tempest. So that's going to be a really hard job. Oh wow, that's actually really insane what Maru is trying to pull here. And Seed is going to realize it. He's going to pull back after this first nuke is being used here. He realizes exactly where the ghost is, and well, this is going to die fast. Maru is expanding again. Okay, finally he's adding on a couple command centers here. Those ghosts, they're a bit out of position. Maru not being the fastest this game with regrouping his army and taking some initiative. And another Ghost Academy. So it feels like Maru, he split the map here. He's going to go for those very cheap nukes to try and do damage. He's going to keep on trying to do damage. If 20 nuke fail and then 1 or 2 work, you achieved your mission already, because you're going to do so much damage with them. Okay, of course that depends on how much damage exactly you make with them. Obviously if you just kill a couple probes, that's not successful, but you keep on trying for big nukes that might snipe big chunks of army or a lot of probes. And I feel like Maru is totally forgot about this base here, which is a huge mistake. He should have taken it a long time ago. Just send a couple units there and snipe the rocks and then take it. I guess he has this base with a lot of minerals, but the sooner you do this, the better. Obviously, BCC did not forget about it. He's sending a couple units trying to fight for the control of the watchtowers here. Maru's gonna go for the same nuke here, and Seed most likely is gonna be ready. When you're hit by a nuke once, usually you look again at the same place once you're getting nuked again, because you can kind of anticipate the guy will try the same place. And did Seed? I think so. Huge engagement here with a couple ghosts. Is he gonna be able to get it? Oh my god, the nuke lands before. Okay, that's a very ambitious ghost. 1 hit point. He's gonna try for a nuke in the middle of the army. It's actually quite hidden. It might be pretty tough for Seed to see, but he's gonna pull back on time. And this one ghost is even gonna take the luxury of sniping a Templar after that. And Maru right now, I'm surprised he does not make more production facilities, because when you have this much money and you have this much army, you can anticipate that when you fight, you're still gonna lose a bit of your army. I know that an army with this many ghosts does not really lose to anything a Protoss has to offer, but still. Another nuke, he's going to go down here. No more cloak on this ghost. Gonna be sniped immediately. Seed, he's going for the level 2 shields. And the air weapons level 3 already, so he's been boosting this pretty well. His Tempests are going to do a lot of damage. He has a very Tempest heavy army, which is basically countered by Vikings, pretty much only. And his plan is just to shoot from afar, like I said before, try to force Maru to engage into him, and then storm whatever he can. So he's actually bringing a lot of Templars here. Like I said before, I feel like 4 is a good number, 5 is probably the maximum. I feel like 6 is maybe a bit too much. I would have liked better if he left like some Templar, 1 here and 1 here. Just bring like 4 with his army, but he's actually leaving some in middle. Those sentries are going to be useless in the late game. You should always sacrifice them. And Maru is just going to keep on sending those nukes in. He has enough bases. He's just trying to trade cost effectively at this point, because he knows that the economies are similar. you can see Seed is up to 3,000, Maru almost at 3,000, and Seed has 4,000 gas. Maru is up to 3,000. That's just because Maru did not take this base here. And Seed here is gonna try to engage, but he lacks vision. The thing is, if you make observer, they will get sniped by scan, which is free. So you need to make some observers, but you need to keep them with your army. So he's made 4, which is actually a bit of an overcommitment in this game. I feel like 2 would be enough, and then maybe leave 1 behind in case those die. Then you don't need to remake 1 instantly. Seed, all he wants is to try and snipe some buildings and then pull back. Try to trade cost effectively. That's exactly what he's doing here. If Vikings fly in, he's just gonna storm them. So he's gaining terrain slowly. He's actually lost some supply here. Why is he engaging? He's engaging into the planetary here because I think he wants to be able to clean this area even if he loses a whole bunch of stuff. He felt confident enough to storm. Oh my god, this Tempest. They're covering everything so well. There is like almost no way for Maru to engage into this. Maru has to pull back for now. And Seed, he's just gonna take his time. He's killed a bunch of stuff here, but he's lost about 35 supply, which he's gonna have to replace. He hadn't chosen yet what he will replace it with. Now he did. He's gonna go for full Tempest. So he's on 4 target. Maybe, I guess like 3 or 4 more targets would be great here, considering his economy. I mean, he hasn't been losing units in a while, so the economy is stacking up slowly. Okay, when you do this, you should definitely take the tower. Okay, so you get vision. He finally does it. Those Vikings are gonna fly in. Oh, nice storm. He needs some feedbacks as well. Templars are pretty clumped here. Finally gonna get stormed, but oh my god. Nice use of Seeker Missile here. Maru finally has had enough. He's really been wanting to clean this up for a long time. Seed is just gonna keep on pulling back with his Tempest here, and he should have, okay, he has some backup Templars, which is just warped, except for these 3, which have been charging on energy for a while. So these are gonna be pretty fresh. And I actually don't like how he sent his Templars here, because Terran, when he scans you and you know he might be somewhere, you should never send a Templar. Like if you're here and then the Terran scans here and then you don't have vision here, you should never send a Templar in. Always pull it back, because if ghosts are in range, they will always snipe it or EMP it. So no, I don't like that Seed sent his Templars in like he did, but anyway, he's gonna live through this. And Maru is still trying to push. Seed is trying to get as many Tempests as he can. He's gonna keep a couple of Colossi on the ground, which is very smart. Because if you think about it, like I said, only Viking can counter this. But if you make nothing on the ground, no Colossi, your opponent might just go for mass Marines and mass Ghosts and then attack against this and kill you. If they can EMP all of the Templars, the Tempests are not gonna win against a full ground army, a maxed army. They are good, but they're not that good. They are good because they shoot from so far and then you can pull back with them and you can force your opponent to attack into you. So Seed has made a lot of production facilities everywhere on the map behind this. He's up to 20 gates. Still just for Stargate, which is not enough, I feel. But it's still okay, especially since he's not losing too many units. Maru is nuking all over the place. Oh my god, that was so close. Where is the ghost? Oh, there it is. And Maru is still not taking this one base over here, which I think is going to start becoming a real mistake. I guess he does not have too many SCVs. He's not been spamming mules as much as he should. He should have all of those bases mined as soon as possible so he can keep on establishing where his economy is at in this game exactly. Instead of that, he's taking his sweet time. He's just trying to trade cost effectively, but so far it has not gone his way. He's in a split map situation. This number is extremely important here, because that's going to tell you exactly where you're at money-wise. So unless you play a Zerg who has Mass Broodlord and Infestor and can't lose anymore, this number is very important. Because now you can know that Seed is ahead by about 6,000. Well, actually a bit less, because this is 18,800. So I guess 5,000 something. And Seed has got a huge amount of Tempest here. I'm actually surprised he made Archons. Okay, there are the Templars. He's going to bring all of them. And he's basically fighting for vision here. He lacks vision. That's why on a map like Aquilon West, you can just make a lot of cannons at the watchtower in the middle, leave a probe there, and then you will have great vision, and your Tempests are going to be so good. But now, he was really lacking vision, so when he engages, he has to engage all the way pretty much. Oh my god. Seeker Missile was used very well on those Tempests. I guess a whole bunch of units died here, but the Ravens, they did a lot of damage, so we can look now. Still about 5,000 difference. So it's pretty much the same. They traded very equally in this last exchange. And you would think, like, if this was Wings of Liberty, Maru, he could just make 100 turrets in the middle of the map and then just camp and nuke and make Yamato, make Seeker Missile, make anything he wants. But since we finally have Tempest, which is extremely good in late game, Maru cannot really do that. He has to make an army and he has to keep on doing those small trade fights without committing against Seed. Unless he finally chooses he wants to commit, but this will be very risky and most likely it will not go his way. So we're going to have basically infinite attempts from Maru here of nuking the army of Seed. Actually, I think when you use a nuke, it spends the resources. So I guess that's what he's been losing resources in as well. Because no one of his nukes has been doing too much damage. So now he gets a couple cannons. This one was okay. But remember, he's training gas as well. He's spending gas on those nukes. They cost 100, so every time he's spending gas to kill minerals when he kills those cannons, and this is starting to show. He has 2,000 gas for 6,000 minerals. Seed, 7,500, 5,500. I'm very surprised that Seed does not make any extra stargates here. At least a couple. When you have this much minerals, if he was to lose his entire army, which can happen, yes it can, he would need to remake his entire army as soon as possible, so he would need more production facilities, but he does not seem to be worried. Since he's a very good player, so I'm going to trust him on this one. He's just trying to press through. I'm surprised he does not send more probes at the watchtowers to really try to have the vision. Maru finally got rid of those rocks over here, and he's just finally taken this base. And these groups actually... Oh, he's putting the Ravens with the Vikings, which is okay, I guess. 4 groups might be a bit too much. And there it goes. Ask and you shall receive 4 extra stargates out of Seed. He's gonna get the +3 air armor as well. He's got +3 shield already. He's got observer speed. He has his army, and observer speed at this point in the game is also so important, because every time he pulls back now, his observer is not trailing behind and dying. Couple ghosts are gonna go forward and EMP this entire army. I think Maru has had enough. He wants to engage here, but he's gonna step into some big storms. And every time he attacks like that, the Tempests, they snipe everything that runs into them, and the few units that might filter in, they're just going to get stormed. So it feels that for Maru right now, it's almost impossible to engage. He just doesn't know how to engage into this army. He's just going to keep on scanning, but, I mean, look at those Tempests. They just keep on sniping stuff, and coupled with the good Templar micro, there's just not much Maru can do right now. He's just going to try to hang in there and go for a big Hunter Seeker Missile attacker, I feel. Another scan, another nuke. He's going to go down. And Maru is actually going to set a couple extra SCVs. He wants to get as much army as possible. And you saw the production tab? He was making 15 Marines. So he's actually going to get a ton of Marines. Go in there, try to Hunter Seeker Missile as much as he can. Try to EMP those Templars and get rid of his army, which sounds like a very difficult task, and it is. Having observer speed following his Tempest all the time makes it so hard for Maru to just send his Vikings in, snipe the observers, and then move in. Especially since Seed, he always keeps so many observers with his army. So now finally he's going to take a lot of damage. Oh, Seeker Missile being used on a lot of those Tempests. And Seed is going to try to split them up to lose as little as possible. Nicely done by Maru, but I mean, 35,000 to 22,000 in units lost now, so Seed edging very far ahead in this game. And I'm still in shock that he does not try to take more watchtowers. or at least send a couple units here. You can just send a couple zealots. When you have this money, sending like 5 zealots somewhere is not going to cost too much. Maru finally is going to have enough of this. He's going to again move in and try. Oh, wow. That's just wrong. So many anti-seeker missiles being used off those Tempests. No one of them just fell, actually. They all lived through this. They have shields level 3. And again, huge engagement by Maru.